Students, welcome back to the chemistry class. In our today's class, we will discuss universal law of gravitation. This law is given by Newton's. So, he gave the law of gravitation. So, we will talk about the law of gravitation. But before that, let us see what actually the motion of the moon around the earth. So how was the motion of the moon around the earth was explained. Now the thing is that the movement of the moon around the earth happens in a kind of circular path, not exactly circular kind of an elliptical surface to the valley. Now if the earth would have not been attracting the moon, in that case, the moon would have not moved along this path. It would have moved a lower straight line path. How? Let us add this example. Let us suppose you have a stone, okay, and you tie a thread to the stone, and you hold the other end of the thread. How you start rotating? Now you start rotating it, so it is very easy to rotate it like this. Now why do you think the stone is moving in a circular path? Because you are applying a force at the center, right? That is why it was moving in a circular path. So there is a force applied circular path. So there is a force which is always at every point. The stone is being attracted towards the center. So because of which it comes little near, again it comes little near. Now the movement, what happens? The moving can leave the thread. What would happen? As soon as you need the thread, the stone will fly away. The stone will move in a straight line path, right? You can try it yourself. The stone will move somewhere and fall down. Correct? That means the stone was moving in that circular path because of a force which was attracted it at every point towards the center, and that force is known as the same trip itself force. So similar is the motion of the moon around the, but so at every point the moon is also getting attracted by the earth. So because of the centripetal force, it is moving along a circular path. Otherwise, the moon would have moved along a straight line path. So Newton was able to understand that, okay, fine it is not only the apple, but it is any object that earth attracts. So earth attracts every object. So now the question was that, is it only that earth attracts every object, or is it like every object attracts every other object? So that was our next question. So he was actually trying to find out an answer to this, that the earth attracts the apple. Even the apple falls towards from the tree to the earth. The earth is attracting the apple. Nor does the apple also attract the earth. So that was his actual question. So is the apple also attracting the earth? So now he was able to find an answer to that. If he found that yes, that apple also attracts the earth. But now the next question was, if the apple also attracts the earth, then why not the earth moves towards the apple? For example, the earth was attracting the apple, that is why the apple falls towards the earth. But if the apple is also attracting the earth, then the earth should also move up towards the apple, right? So why does not that happen? Why does not that happen? That doesn't, we can understand that with the help of Newton's second and third laws. In our last lesson, we talked about the Newton's laws of motion, right? So we talked about Newton's first law, second law and third law also. So now what happens actually is that according to Newton's third law, what does Newton's third law say? It says that every action has an equal and opposite reaction, right? This is Newton's third law. Newton's second law, what does it say? It says that force acting on any object is given like product of mass and acceleration of the body, right? So now, if your force is constant, now the condition, if your force is constant, right? If force is constant, from this expression, we can say that acceleration is inversely proportional to mass. That means if the same amount of force acts on to different bodies with different masses, the acceleration is more for the body with lesser mass, and explain this in our previous lesson, right? If you have two bicycles, one bicycle there is a very thin and sitting, and on the other one there is a very fat, right? Very fat body sitting. So now if you apply the same force to both of them, with both the bicycle move at the same speed? No. Because why? Because the boy with greater mass, he will move little slowly. The boy with lesser mass, the boy with lesser mass will move fast. So that means acceleration is inversely proportional to the mass. So the same thing as for the third law, what happens? Earth will exert some force on the apple, right? Let us suppose Earth exerts force F on the apple. Okay, on the apple. That happens. What happens? So as for third law, apple should also exert an equal and opposite force on earth. That means it should also exert the same force F. But now your force is constant in both the cases, right? But for apple the mass is less, but for earth the mass is more. So in this case, the force is acting on the apple. So the apple is my object. Similarly, here the force is acting on an object whose mass is similar. Remember the example of the fat boy and thin boy. When you apply some force, the force is being applied on the boy, so the mass of the boy is important. So here also the force is applied on the apple, so mass of the apple is less. Therefore, acceleration of the apple is more, right? Because both are inversely proportional to each other. But in the next case, force is being applied on the earth. Mass of the earth is log when compared to the apple. Therefore, acceleration of the earth is very less and it is more too visible at all. Therefore, the movement or any kind of motion of the earth is not at all feasible, right? So I was able to explain you what actually happens. That means, so Newton concluded that every object actually attracts every other object. But we sometimes see some object we are able to see that attraction the form of motion in certain objects if their masses are less. But if the mass of the object is high, in that case, the movement of the object is not visible. So this is how starting. I mean, from the incident of the apple falling on Newton's head, we started thinking about the gravitation, and we finally concluded with the universal law of gravitation. So with the help of this universal law of gravitation, you could also explain the motion of all planets around the sun in the solar system. It is not only the moon which revolves around the earth, it is all the 9 planets which keep revolving around the sun, right? So they all keep moving around the sun in being kind of orbits, that because the planets are being attracted by sun. So at every point they are being attracted towards the sun, which required because of that centripetal force. They are able to maintains in these orbits. That is, they do not fly away in different directions. Okay, so I hope this topic is clearly understood. See you in our next class. Thank you.